embattled Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton is facing an impeachment vote as early as today. A state house committee recommended last night he be ousted following an investigation into corruption allegations. State lawmakers are considering 20 articles of impeachment, including conspiracy, constitutional bribery, and obstruction of justice. Scott Braddock is editor of the political publication The Quorum Report and told ABC News in Austin Paxton knows it's serious.
Paxton has basically told his staff, the Attorney General's office, he fully expects to be impeached by the House, and then we see what happens when it moves to the upper chamber.
Paxton is also awaiting trial in a separate securities fraud case. Police in Japan investigating the deaths of 4 people in a gun and knife attack. Police arrested a 31-year-old after a standoff at his father's home.
Masanori Aoki was taken into custody on suspicion of murder in Nakano, a city in the Nagano prefecture. Prior to the standoff, police say Aoki shot 2 police officers who were called after reports of a woman being stabbed. That woman and the 2 officers were later pronounced dead at a hospital. A 4th person, an older woman, was also killed after being wounded, but was too close to Aoki to be rescued in time. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
If you're not heading to work, you may be traveling for the Memorial Day weekend. Today expected to be the busiest day on the roads. You're listening to ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A warning if your holiday weekend plans include a trip to the beach. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimberg.
Powerful winds along the East Coast are creating hazardous conditions at beaches with dangerous rip currents possible from Florida all the way to New Jersey.
It just happened so quickly. They're out too far. I remember both of us trying to wave them and call them in.
This family is sharing their story as a warning for others, reliving the terrifying moment 5 members of their group got caught in a rip current and dragged out to sea before they were rescued.
For over 75 years, filmmakers have flocked to Cannes in the south of France for recognition and the opportunity to meet others in the industry. ABC's Inez de la Quatera is there with the closing of the film festival.
Culminating with its Palme d'Or award, Cannes is ultimately a celebration of cinema. Because it's not just the VIPs attending, this is the other side of Cannes, where movie deals get made.
On top of the glitz and the glamour, you also have world's biggest movie market here in Cannes. Over here, you've got movies from Thailand, India, and Brazil. Back here, over 40,000 industry professionals attend every year.
If your summer plans include an overseas trip, how about India, which now boasts the world's top hotel? Roombog Palace is on 47 acres and has hosted dignitaries from King Charles to Jackie Onassis. Rooms start at about $400 per night. This is ABC News.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone that's $10,000 or more in debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call Total Financial Freedom now at 800-208-1312 for a free consultation. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Total Financial Freedom now. 800-208-1312. Call now.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company Friday. They'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Hey, this is Cameron coming to you from the Blue Room with a check-in on your weather. Today's partly cloudy with highs near 75. Mostly cloudy overnight with lows around 55. Saturday, mostly cloudy with showers likely with highs near 60. Mostly cloudy overnight with showers with lows around 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy with light showers likely with highs near 65. Mostly cloudy overnight with light showers and isolated storms with lows around 60. And that was a check-in on your weather here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
One of the Carolinas' leading bark mulch manufacturers is
Welcome to All Things Rutherford, here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Now here's your host, Todd and Tracy.
What is happening here? We're discombobulated this morning.
That's a brand new word.
How you like that? See, now, in my daily word allowance, I'm only allowed so many words.
Wow. I didn't learn that. I did not learn that at East High School.
I used that. That's a 50-cent word. I had to use that. So I've only got like $3 left.
I'm proud of you.
I'm going to have to stay simple. I can't use many more words like the one I just used. If I say it again, that's another 50 cents off the allowance. Good morning. Hope you're all doing good on this Friday morning.
Thanks. TGIF.
Finally Friday free.
And it's a wonderful long. Everybody has a long weekend.
That's right. Got a long weekend. I personally have a 4-day weekend coming up.
Well, aren't you special?
Oh yeah. Well, you know, when they send out a memo that said all non-clinical departments will be closed, you kind of have to do that.
There you go.
So
we'll take that, won't we?
That's right. 7 minutes after 7 o'clock, sunshine, skies outside. 55 degrees. We're looking for an absolute beautiful day today. Going to be up and around the 70s, and then rain moves into the forecast for tomorrow, into tomorrow evening, kind of into Sunday, but I think all that'll be gone before Memorial Day. But we'll be prepared no matter what. Got these death announcements this morning. Hazel Welch, age 95, passed away May the 24th. Memorial services will be held Sunday, May the 28th at the Word of Faith Fellowship. Crow's Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Hazel Welch. Kay Thompson Leibel passed away May 24th. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Kay Leibel. Jerry McIntyre, age 49 of Forest City, passed away Monday, May 22nd. Funeral services will be held today at 2 p.m. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services serving the family of Jerry McIntyre. Elora Jane Settle passed away Friday, May the 19th. Services will be held, they were held yesterday. James Raymond Jim Davini, age 80, passed away Wednesday, May the 17th. Arrangements are incomplete and will be posted later. Paget and King Mortuary serving the family of Jim Davini. Charles Bo Dysart, age 80, passed away May the 19th. Harrelson Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for Charles Bo Dysart. Peter James Moore, age 60, passed away May the 18th. Memorial service will be held at a later date in his hometown in New Hampshire. Harrelson Funeral Home, Cremation Services serving the family of Peter James Moore. Nita Francis, age 72, passed away Monday, May 22nd. Funeral services will be held tomorrow. Those are the arrangements for Nita Francis. Gail Ann Stillman, age 85 of Rutherfordton, passed away April the 24th. Funeral services will be held tomorrow. Crow's Mortuary serving the family of Gail Stillman. Stephen Michael Govis passed away May the 7th. Celebration of Life will be held June 24th. Crow's Mortuary serving the family of Stephen Govis. We'll join Bill O'Reilly already in progress.
And done in a specific time frame. They're the only company you can trust, having helped more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out. So please call Lone Star Transfer 855-551-7066 or visit LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Friday, Tina Turner has passed, as you may have heard. She was 83 years old, tremendous rock performer on stage, one of the best I've ever seen. Ms. Turner had a rough time of it in her younger days. A child of poverty, she married the violent Ike Turner, who made her life hell. But Ms. Turner eventually succeeded despite the bad circumstances, for one simple reason. She did not surrender to adversity. She kept on going in her pursuit of happiness. That's a dying strategy today in America. We live in a country full of grievance and excuse making. Intoxication, for example, is encouraged. Blaming others for your tragedies is standard. Personal responsibility rarely championed. Younger Americans would do well to study Tina Turner's life and emulate her courage. Feeling the need to change her environment, she left the pressure-packed USA and moved to the far more tranquil country of Switzerland. She analyzed her situation and concluded she had to try something new. All of us have the freedom to reject bad things and improve our lives. The difficulty is figuring out what to do and then having the courage to take a different path. Tina Turner did figure it out. I admire her. May she rest in peace. Back after this. Hey, DirecTV viewers, Bill O'Reilly here, inviting you to watch the No Spin News on the First TV, weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern. The challenges facing our nation are only getting worse. The border, inflation, crime, drugs. Folks need real information, an honest analysis they can trust. The corporate media feeds you biased reporting every day. All of that stops now with me, Bill O'Reilly, and the No Spin News on the First TV, weeknights 8 p.m., DirecTV channel 347. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
On May 23, 1868, one of early America's greatest leaders of men died. He was born Christopher Houston Carson, but since he was a little baby, his father thought he needed a much smaller name, so he started calling him Kit. At the age of 17, Kit Carson traveled west and became one of those half-lion and half-bear mountain men. At the age of 26, while at a rendezvous, he and a giant red-bearded man took a liking to this same Arapaho maiden. Not the physical specimen that would intimidate someone, Kit was challenged to a shootout on horseback. After the smoke cleared, Kit was the only one still breathing. The Arapaho maiden became his first wife. Kit learned several Indian languages and customs. During his life, he fought with Indians and against them, but whatever side he was on, that side usually won. The very knowledge that Kit Carson was on the other side was often enough to assure victory. One time Kit was guiding a group of wagons when they encountered some Cheyenne. The Cheyenne maintained they were peaceable and camped with the wagon train. During the evening, Kit overheard them talking about plans to kill the white men. When Kit confronted them, one of the Indians recognized him and they left without a fight. In 1842, Kit's wife died. They had had a daughter. Kit took her to St. Louis to be educated. While in St. Louis, he met a Lieutenant John Fremont, a meeting that changed dramatically both of their lives. The next time we're together, we'll learn more about this man who became a brigadier general. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
"15 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Friday morning. Finally Friday, friends, May the 26th. Going first on our call-around report to the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. With us is Deputy Clayton. Deputy, good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
Doing good. What's on that report for us?
can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
In the past 24 hours, the sheriff's office the detention center has processed 16 arrests. We're holding 189 in the jail. We've responded to 213 calls for service. For incident reports, we've got James Wisnett, who reported damage to property. And Cliffside Fire Department reported felony conversion. For arrest reports, we've got Judice Quarles, arrested on assault on a female. Amber Boyce was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Sherry Allen was arrested for second-degree trespass and littering. We got Pamela Thompson was arrested on failing to appear on child support. Julianne Cato was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Mona Lisa Airwood was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Randall Malloy was arrested for obtaining property by false pretense. Talina Taylor was served for a true bill of indictment. Purcell Ledbetter was arrested for failing to appear on child support. Floyd Ray Oliver was arrested for failing to appear on child support. Morgan Bennett was arrested for failing to appear on misdemeanor. Julie Cato was arrested for felony probation violation. Katie Jones was arrested for misdemeanor probation violation. And Regina Randall was arrested for second-degree trespass. And that's all I've got for you.
Deputy Clayton, we appreciate the report. I hope you guys have a great day and be safe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Deputy Clayton with that report from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department. And that Rutherford County Sheriff's Department report is being brought to you by the fine folks over at Jay's Discount Grocery. 17 minutes after 7 o'clock, Friday morning. That's right. It's Friday, last work day until the big long weekend. A lot of people are taking today off.
They are. A lot of people are heading out on the roads.
Today and Monday off. Got a couple of guys that's going to be out at work. One guy leaving half a day. He's heading to Greenville.
Oh, boy.
So he'll be spending his weekend in Greenville down there. So, hey, I got big plans, too.
What's your big plans?
I'm going to stay at home.
I got big plans, too.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to do it, too. I'm going to stay home.
Come to the house. We'll stay home again, you know. Probably cook some hamburgers or hot dogs at some point throughout the weekend and cut some grass.
I think it's supposed to be rain Saturday. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's rained every other Saturday. So
well, why not?
Why not go ahead and...
What's the difference?
Yeah, why not go ahead and rain tomorrow, too? Continue with our call-around report. We'll check in with 911 Communications Center next.
Compassion, professionalism, and commitment are qualities family members need at a time of sorrow. That's why families in Rutherford County turn to Harrelson Funeral Home. The professional staff at Harrelson Funeral Home in Forest City understands your sadness, your loneliness, and your need for guidance. You will know when you turn to Harrelson Funeral Home that your needs have been met. Harrelson Funeral Home would like to take this time to salute all the men and women who have served this great country in the military. Thank you so much for your service and for your sacrifice. This message brought to you by Harrelson Funeral Home, Highway 221A in Forest City.
"19 minutes after 7 o'clock, Jenny with us from 911 Communications Center. Jenny, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on the report for us this morning?
All right. In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County 911 Communications has processed 499 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 57 emergency medical services. For law enforcement, we had 213 for the Sheriff's Office, 66 for Forest City, 5 for Lake Lure, 53 for Rutherfordton, and 55 for Spindale. And in our fire calls, we had Cliffside respond to a fire investigation, Ellenburg respond to a structure fire, and they were assisted by Balsick, Cherry Mountain, and Forest City. Green Hill responded to a dumpster fire, Hudlow to a fire investigation, Rutherfordton to another fire investigation. SDO responded to a residential fire alarm and vehicle fire, Spindale to a motor vehicle crash, and Union Mills to a motor vehicle crash. And that's all we got.
Jenny, I appreciate your report. You guys have a great day today.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Jenny with that report from 911 Communications Center. Atlanta Braves baseball, they started a new series last night with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Braves did come out ahead in that 8-6. So, or was that 8-5? It might be 8-5. I can't tell. It's a 5. It looks like a 6. Anyway, the Braves won, so either way. They'll be back in action tonight at 6:05 airtime. 7:20 first pitch. This is a home game. They'll be playing again tomorrow, 2:55 airtime, 3:10 first pitch. And then on Sunday, that'll be an evening game as well, 5:55 airtime for that, 7:10 first pitch. Atlanta Braves all weekend long right here at WCAB. You can find us at 100.9 FM, 590 AM. You can also find us on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search WCAB Radio. You'll see the WCAB logo that's out on the front of the building here, and our little, what do you call that? Little picture.
I don't know.
Yeah. Look for it. You'll find it. Maybe I think it's even circled in red when we're live, and it'll have a little live icon down below. So if you see the live icon, you'll know it's us because we are live.
Yeah, and hit it, and we'll be waving at you.
That's right. Let us know. Go into chat, say something. We'll wave at you. We'll give you a shout out or something. That's the way we're broadcasting in 3D.
That's exactly
3 different
right.
ways you can get us:
Mhm.
AM, FM, and the YouTube.
That's we're in a brand new world.
That's right. Like to say hi to all the folks out in Garland, Texas this morning checking in. Good to see y'all in the chat this morning. Hello to Garland, Texas. Boy, they getting up early to
Yeah, they are.
Texas if they're going to listen to us. They must really like us in Texas. I heard we're big in Arkansas, too.
Yep.
All 7 people out there listen to us.
Hey, it's better than 0.
That's right. 22 minutes after 7 o'clock.
And we have Kentucky listening in, too.
And Kentucky's
watching. We have all kinds of states.
We got people all over the United States listening to us. We need to get some over on the other side of the world, Australia, stuff like that. Let's continue our call-around report. We're going to Ruby Taylor and the Shiloh, Danieltown, Oakland report after this.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous.
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course. They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
23 minutes after 7 o'clock. Ruby Taylor with us this morning. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on the report for us?
They had a vehicle fire and a residential fire alarm. And on my birthday counter, I got Steve Cole, Lenny Lucky Doo, having birthday today, and Mr. and Ms. Max Bright's having a anniversary today. Tomorrow, Jim Kennedy. Sunday, Vicky Root, Cleo Huntley, and Christina Towers having birthday. Hope all these people have a nice day. Signs are in the bows today, tomorrow, and Sunday all. And that's all I got.
Ruby, thanks so much. Hope you have a wonderful day and a good weekend.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ruby Taylor with that report from the SDO Fire District. Well, let me tell you about a little something that you may not be aware of. This is a Facebook hack that is going around. This happened to my wife. Is the only reason I know about it. What it'll do is you'll be sitting there just innocent, and then all of a sudden a friend will pop up. And they'll say, hey, I need your phone number.
Really?
Well, when you send them your phone number, guess what? That's how they can access your account.
Huh?
With
By your
phone number.
really?
Yep. Somehow they got my wife's phone number. A good friend of ours from church messaged her, said, hey, I need your phone number.
Or you thought it was a good friend?
Thought it was a friend. Came through on Facebook Messenger. The next thing I knew, Karen's phone number had been changed. Her email address had been changed. And I was locked out of her account. When I logged back in with her phone number, it was a totally new account. Someone by the name of Susan Roberts, something they made up.
Wow.
So be aware. If anybody contacts you through Facebook Messenger that, hey, I need your phone number, give them the number 2.
Well, somebody weird changed mine because one of my friends sent a request to me, or told me, said that I was Bella Rose. So if y'all get a request from me under Bella Rose, it's not me.
There is a different kind of a scheme going on where they clone your account.
Yeah.
They'll go to your account, they'll take your picture that you've got on your profile picture, same name and everything, and they'll send friend requests to your friends.
That is evil is out
Yep.
there, people. It's just they're into something. They're into something shady.
So if you're listening to me, what I can tell you to do is go to Facebook, get a password that involves capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and a symbol, a question mark, exclamation point, and always set up two-factor authentication. If anybody tries to access your account, they will send you a text, and they have to enter that text in, all right? If they don't have access to your phone number, they're not going to get that text. So they can't get in. Set up two-factor authentication on your Facebook and get a stronger. I set hers up, didn't really think anything about it, didn't really get a good password in there, and I think that's what happened. But we're in the process of getting that back. We got our email address put back on our account. The other person, whoever it is not accessing it, so we're just waiting on Facebook, and of course they're slow.
Those scammers are out there.
Scammers are out there every day. Also, if a friend pops up and says, "Hey, can you send me some money?" That's a scam too.
Yes.
A friend of mine from Forest City, my good buddy down at Forest City Mowers, he's like, "Hey man, I need $100." And I'm like, of all people to ask for $100, I know he wouldn't ask me.
See.
So I called him, and he's like, "No, that's not me. That's
and
not
see,
me."
that makes good people look so bad.
Makes good people look bad.
Because you really think it's somebody. But anyway.
And, I mean, he's such a good friend. If he needed $100, I'd have given him $100. You know, but just be aware out there. There's a scam every minute. 27 minutes after 7 o'clock. Continuing our call around report. Just a little PSA for you. Wanted to make y'all aware of that because I know a lot of people use the Facebook to get around and navigate and get news and get the latest gossip and whatever's going on in the county. We're continuing our trip around the county. We'll head to Chris Martin, Chimney Rock, next.
Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service is the reason they continue to be voted best in pest control. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Free estimates when you call Hutchins Pest Control, and you can be sure that job is going to be done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171, and they'll be right there.
727, Chris Melton with us from the Chimney Rock Fire District. You know, it took me that long to just say Chimney Rock instead of all them other places up that way.
You're getting better.
I mean, he covers a whole lot of area up there. Chris Melton with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are y'all doing today?
Doing good.
Fabulous.
Doing good.
Great.
How are you?
Doing real good.
Good. You ready for a big old weekend?
Yeah, it's a busy weekend, I'm sure.
I bet so.
Oh, I bet y'all are going to have y'all going to be busy this weekend. I know that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, we got the farmers market going on tonight from 4 to 7. And don't forget about Bills Creek Fire Department's blood drive on June 1st. There's time still available. And the only call reports we had is Lake Rover ran a fire alarm this morning. And that's it on the call report.
All right, Chris, we appreciate that. Hope you have a good weekend. Have a good Memorial Day. Hope it's nice and quiet, and we'll talk to you again on Tuesday.
Have a great day as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Yes, I said Tuesday. Me and Tracy's going to be out of pocket on Memorial Day. Lou's going to take over duties here in the Blue Room for us, so we're going to take a day off on Monday, but we'll be brack
and early.
Brack and early. We'll be heading here bright and early.
That's a new word.
On Tuesday morning. Kentucky said, meanwhile, in Lexington, Kentucky, a man got arrested for digging up his wife's garden. Apparently, they had issues.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine being so mad at your wife that you go out and dig her garden up?
Can't we all just get along?
That would be. I mean, I wish I could arrest them deer that would come by and eat all my tomato plants. That would be wonderful. They need to put them on a pan is what they need to do. 29 minutes, well, it's 7:30 now. We're continuing our call around report. We'll check in Bostic to Vern Upton after this.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Funny story, as we go to Boston, since that's my hometown, I caught a cat that had been getting in my trash. It was a wild cat running around crazy. So I set up a trap on the back of my truck. And I caught it yesterday. Animal Control came out and got it for me. And I was telling my brother about it. And he said, "What color was it?" I was like, it was a gray cat. He said, "Did it have a little white fluff on his?" I was like, "Yeah." He asked me this some time ago. So I realized at some point, while I was over visiting my brother, I brought home a cat in my vehicle. And that's what's been running around at my house.
Tom, oh my goodness. That would only happen to you.
Only me. Should have took the darn thing back there and down there to him and set him back out.
No.
But he told me, he said, if it's a gray cat, he said, don't bring it back home. So, oh well. He seemed to be a pretty nice cat. I mean, he only hissed at me when I come to the cage and tried to pick it up. So he may have.
I wonder why. I would hiss too if I was in a cage. Wouldn't you?
Had me in a cage, yeah. I'd do more than hiss.
He may be a very nice cat for all I know. But him and my dog Buddy, they're not going to get along, so we can't have that. DeVern, good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about y'all?
Doing good.
Doing good. Friday. Good. We're looking forward to the weekend, and we're just gonna keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
You got big plans this weekend?
Not really. Have you?
No. Just being able just to do nothing's wonderful.
Do nothing. I like that.
I do too.
Did you ever think you'd get to a point in your life where you looked forward to doing nothing?
I know.
Yes.
DeVern, anything happening over there that way this morning?
Well, we want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day and hope they enjoy their weekend and their Monday and just lay back and enjoy it. And our temperature is 58 degrees. Fire department assisted Ellenboro with a structure fire yesterday. Food boxes will be given out again at Washerman's Outreach there off of Piney Church Road from 9 to 12:30. Don't forget to go by the Bostic Lincoln Center there at the railroad tracks. It'll be open from 10 to 1. That's very interesting. And then going up there to Whistle Stop Baker and get your bakery items for the weekend and for Memorial Day. She's got some good ones. And hope everyone has a wonderful Memorial Day and a safe weekend.
DeVern,
you
too.
For
that report. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And don't forget, Whistle Stop Bakery is our sponsor for the cupcake giveaway later on this morning. Our birthday winner, we will pick a winner, and they will receive a cupcake courtesy of the Whistle Stop Bakery. And, boy, she makes some good cupcakes.
Yeah, she does.
Try the strawberry crunch.
Oh.
Try the cherry crunch. That's wonderful.
I can't get away from chocolate.
Look.
I'm a chocoholic.
Look, go get you one of them Oreo cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Because you eat that cupcake, and then you get down to the bottom of it, and you realize there's a whole nother Oreo down in there.
Oh, my goodness. That's interesting.
Oreo in the bottom of that.
Oh,
it's so good. I can't eat them no more, but I mean, I can.
You can still talk about it.
I choose not to. 7:35 on this Friday morning. We're going to continue and check in with Robbie Samuel, Mount Vernon Fire District, next.
Get the freedom to go anywhere. Unlock your next adventure with a great deal from Carolina West Wireless. Right now, save $400 on iPhone series smartphones and go anywhere with the best wireless experience on our fast, reliable nationwide network. Get a free month of service on us when you choose our premium unlimited rate plan. Adventure is waiting. Get great savings on the device you want to unlock what's next and go stay connected. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions. Certain restrictions apply. Offer expires June 30th, 2023.
It's pretty.
7:34 on this Friday. It's finally Friday. Robbie Samuel with us from the Mount Vernon Fire District. Robbie, good morning.
Well, good morning. How are y'all?
Doing wonderful.
Great.
Good.
Who wouldn't be great on a Friday? And plus, got a long slide to the weekend, and it's going to be raining, and it don't matter. I love rain. I hadn't seen it in so long. I'm tickled to death to be seeing it again.
That sounds like you was trying to write a country song there. I love the long slide of the weekend. It's gonna rain, but I love rain.
I'm telling you, I figured it'd be more like the George Jones "It's Finally Friday" song.
Oh,
That's
I know.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But you got to start somewhere, right?
That's exactly right.
You know what happens when you play a country western song backwards, don't you?
Gosh, yes, I do. But go ahead.
Do you know, Robbie?
Well, does the dog come back too?
Yep, you get your dog back, you get your truck back, you get your wife back, you get your house back.
Did the dog come back too? That was funny.
Just making sure the dog came back.
Yeah, he come back.
Oh. I guess with the fire department, Hudlow responded to a fire investigation yesterday evening and also assisted Ellenburg with a structure fire yesterday. And Roaston, we had a fire investigation and a few medical calls, and that's about it on the fire report. So hopefully we can keep it the same way through the weekend. Everybody just be careful with their grills and their surroundings around those grills if they get a chance to grill this weekend with all the rain, so hopefully they will. But if not, food's cooked in the house, it can be just as good, so depends on who's cooking it, I guess. But
I just set it up. I just set my black stone griddle up on the porch area where can't no rain hit it, and I cook anyway.
Yep.
There you go, see? You already got it figured out. There's always a side to all of it.
Come home the other day, and my wife had some. I knew she wanted me to cook because when I got up on the porch, got out of my car, there was the Blackstone griddle uncovered, freshly greased. It was already heated up. There was some weenies over there, and there was some hamburgers over there, and there was a plate of onions. So
she had everything prepped.
Yep. She was waiting on me to come home and cook it. She claims I cook better on the griddle than she does.
Yeah. Men do. I agree with that. I don't know what it is about y'all.
I love cooking on the griddle.
Men can cook on the grill.
I love a griddle. Man.
Yeah.
If somebody's got it prepared for me, I'll be more than happy to.
That's right.
Whatever you want me to.
Yeah, we cooking, whatever.
Sometimes the prep works harder than the cooking.
That's what I'm thinking. She spent a lot of time pressing them hamburger patties out, and she had them all seasoned and had the onions all seasoned.
It kind of makes sense now why y'all can cook so much better on the grill, because y'all must be channeling the cowboy days. You know, when all the guys.
Back to our caveman days when we cooked with
well, I don't want to go back that far. I'd rather go back to the cowboy days.
The cowboys will work too. Yeah. If you ever get a chance to watch, there's a YouTube channel I love. It's by Kent Rollins, Cowboy Kent Rollins, and he runs a chuck. He does a chuck wagon.
Oh, okay.
And he cooks everything like the old cowboys and pioneers would have cooked it. Oh man, I love watching his channel, Cowboy Kent Rollins. Need to check that out.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it does. I like a good Dutch oven and some of the open fire, you know.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Man, it's a good. I think why I think it's so good though.
Huh?
It's the anticipation of waiting on it to get done after all that hard work.
Yeah. After all that sweating over the fire.
Yeah. It could taste like a brick and you'd love it.
But there's nothing like taking a weenie and putting it on a stick and putting it over a fire. It's so good. Even when you just
that's because
burn
you're
them
cooking all them gnats and all the flies in with it.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference.
That's what I was thinking.
Getting that extra protein.
That's right. I think it's what killed COVID. Well, I hope y'all have a good weekend. I won't keep taking up too much more of your time. But
all right, Robbie. Have a good weekend. Have a good Memorial Day. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
I hope y'all do as well.
Thank you, Robbie. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Robbie, with that report from the Mount Vernon Fire District, we'll check in over in Sunshine and Cherry Mountain. Sue Price next.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
20 minutes till 8 o'clock. Sue Price, after she had to go hunt her phone and track it down, she's on the phone with us. Sue, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing okay. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
Don't you hate it when you put that phone down and you like, doggone it?
Oh, I know.
Well, Sue, anything going on over there this morning?
Well, it's kind of quiet this way. I hadn't heard anything. The fire department assisted Ellenborough, I think, on that one, but that's about all I know from them. And I haven't heard anything else, so I guess everything's quiet. It's a pretty day again today. Looking forward to the weekend.
Absolutely.
I guess part of it's going to be rainy, but maybe we'll have some good days.
Yeah, maybe in between.
Look, that chair on the front porch sits just as good in the rain as it does in the sunshine.
That's right. Well, let's see. I don't have any birthdays on Duncan Tree Church calendar or my personal calendar. I've got an anniversary for Jim and Linda Bradley, so happy anniversary. And I got a birthday for Lynn Wright. She's our niece. Hope she'll have a good day. Fairview's got Caitlin Melton, and an anniversary for Stacy and Lisa Hudson. So I hope they'll all have a good day. And nothing on First Sprouts. So not too many celebrating, but we'll let anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. In my announcements, let's see. Big Springs Baptist Church will be having a Bible school. That's June the 5th through the 8th, 5:45 to 8 p.m. And dinner will be provided. The Sunshine Church is going to be having Memorial Day service June the 4th. Covered dish lunch to follow. And Duncan's Creek Church will be having their Memorial Day on June the 4th. With a picnic lunch to follow. And I believe that's all I have this morning. Just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope y'all have one.
Thanks, Sue. You do the same.
Sue. You and Richard have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
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 Sue Price with the Cherry Mountain Sunshine Fire District Report. Chadford checking in with us this morning. Hey, big man, let me hold $1. Morning, Chadford. Hope you're doing all right today. Heading on to work, I reckon. Kentucky's still in the house. Wonder if Kermit's in there.
I don't know. Do you see?
They got 5. Well, we got 3 people in there. Kermit might be in there watching. We'll have to see if Kermit jumps in and says, howdy. Howdy. I used to do Kermit the Frog. Hello, I'm Kermit the Frog.
Oh, that's good.
7:44. We're going to continue our call-around report. Go to Tina White next.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
7:44. Tina White says hello from the holler. Good morning, Tina. How you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing great this morning. It is a beautiful morning up here. Perfect temperature, 57 degrees. A good day to get out You know, I heard you earlier saying the guy dug up his wife's garden. Oh, that would make me so serious.
Oh, that can't be good.
Garden work is hard. That'd be a good revenge, I guess. But I wonder how what the arrest warrant said.
Look, some of these men got to be careful doing that because some of these ladies around here like to throw hands. That's just.
That was just right down mean. When you dig up somebody's garden.
Woman come home.
I couldn't either.
Woman come home and see her garden out there all dug up and her man dirty. He's liable to start catching some hands. That's what he's gonna do it.
Or a bullet.
Or something.
I think you need to do a session with some law enforcement. Maybe their craziest stories of Rutherford County.
What a great night.
That is.
We'd expose some crazy people around here, I'm telling you. We could do it anonymous.
Anonymously.
Indiscreet. That word, anonymously. There we go. I knew
there
it.
you go.
You made me use another 50-cent word. I'm gonna run out of word budgets today.
Have you been reading the dictionary, discombobulated and anonymously?
I know, isn't that? We're so proud of him. I didn't know how intelligent he was.
Look, it only took me 3 years to graduate to second grade.
I had a bunch of six-year-old girls with me. It's been over 20 years ago. And one of them was my first cousin, Miss Sarah McCurry. She's gone on now, but she's in heaven. But anyway, she said discombobulated. I had never heard of the word discombobulated, and that was one of her spelling words at 6 years old.
Wow.
But my husband just laughed. He said, well, look it up, Tina. Look it up in the dictionary. And it was perfect because imagine having 6 little girls fixing to take them swimming. I was discombobulated.
My son, when he was younger, probably, I don't think he was quite a year or quite 2 years old yet. He was already talking. He started running his mouth way before the age of 1, and he hadn't stopped it yet. So we're going good. But anyway, he
got rid of that.
Well, he did.
That is true.
At least it gets us honest, right? So he came up to me one day and he said, "Daddy, this is getting monotonous." I said, "Son, you don't even know what that means." He said, "It means we're doing the same thing over and over and over." And I said, "Well, you may know what it means, but go on."
He's a smart fella, too.
He's a smart kid. Tina, what's going on up that way?
So the fire department was all quiet the past 24 hours. We have a birthday today for Miss Debbie Haynes and an anniversary for Kevin and Rhonda Levis. So I hope all 3 of y'all have a wonderful day. It's a good day to celebrate. Shingle Hollow Campground over at the church is having a yard sale. Starts this morning at 8, and I think it runs until 4, and then again tomorrow from 8 to 4. So if you like yard sales, it's a good time to go over to Shingle Hollow Campground. And that's all I have for this morning. We're just going to have a good weekend and enjoy, like you said, Tracy, the rain. I hope it gets here. We'll get some rain so we don't have to water our gardens.
Oh, exactly. That's what I was thinking too, Tina, kind of.
Well, I appreciate both of you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for what you do.
You too, Tina. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thanks, Tina.
You too.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Tina White with that report from the Shingle Hollow Fire District. We'll check in with Brenda Kelly next.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
$7:49. No, we're still here. We're still here. Just we're looking for some things and couldn't find what we're looking for. Brenda Kelly, good morning. How you doing?
I'm just fine. How about you on this fabulous Friday morning?
I'm doing pretty good.
I guess so. You got 4 days off.
That's right. I'm not going to complain about it whatsoever.
There you go. What you gonna do?
Nothing.
Okay, that's good. Sit on the porch in the rain.
That's right.
Sit on the porch in the rain. I can see it now.
Oh, my goodness. But we hope everybody's having a good morning. Let's see, I've got 52 degrees on the front porch. I don't have any birthdays and anniversaries, but in ways of announcements, today at 5 p.m. there's going to be a hot dog supper dine-in or carry-out, and this is at the Union Mix Clubhouse. There'll be hot dogs, chips, and drink for $2 in the school supper, and a table for kids to decorate cookies, and everything will be furnished to decorate the cookies. So that would you can go out and get your meal and not have to cook. For $2, you can't beat that.
You sure can't.
No. I guess my favorite food is a hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions.
Oh gosh, it does sound so good.
Yeah, I love it. And this time of the year to cook all that stuff.
It sure is.
So you got big plans? You going anywhere?
Nope, I don't think I'm just gonna. Me and my daughter I may wind up over her house.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have it cooked out. Maybe I'll twist her arm and tell her I'll bring the wings and she'll cook them.
There you go. There you go. Sounds good. I've not got any plans. I just went down to my granddaughter's graduation yesterday down at Bandy's High School.
How'd that go?
Oh, it was nice.
Good.
Yeah, it was real nice. And it was outside. The weather was good. So
awesome.
My son said, "Let's go to the very top." So we're sitting down looking. We're on the top looking down on the world.
Well, you are every morning.
Yeah, that's right.
So that was just feeding for you.
I said, "Listen here, son, your mom is 79 years old. I don't know if I can climb to the top or not, but I got up and down by myself, so I think I done all right."
Brenda, you can do anything you want to do.
Well, yeah, if I set my head to it. I have to sit and think and put my mind to it, so. But I guess you better go to Ellenburg and check on Luther Sweet Thing, see if he's got everything under control down there.
All right, we'll do it, Brenda. Thanks so much.
Have a good one. Catch you later.
Bye-bye. Brenda Kelly, we're going to move the Ellenburg. Speak of Luther Gillikin. We'll do that next.
It's the store folks in Western North Carolina depend on. Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply. It's like a superstore. Deer corn, $11.05 for 50 pounds. Cob corn, $10. They have plenty of deer plant supplies. Check on the lower prices on propane, $12.99 for a 20-pound tank. Mulch, gravel, rocks, and supplies for beautiful landscaping. That's available at Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply at lower prices. Open Monday through Saturday. If you want a feed and seed store that carries so much more, including new and used farm equipment, then come on over to Farmer's Friend Feed, Seed, and Supply, 188 Whiteside Road, Rutherfordton.
7:53, Luther Gillikin in Ellenboro with us this morning. Luther, good morning, sir. How are you?
Hello, and great. Having a good time. You ought to be here.
I wish I was.
Things are quiet, peaceful. Everybody's just trying to get this the last day of work in. Looking forward to the weekend, hoping it doesn't rain all the time. But we'll wait and see what happens. But it's fairly quiet. Fire department had one structure fire yesterday, and they had one medical call last night. But they're quiet this morning. They said they just sat around drinking coffee this morning. Nothing else going on down here. You have a great day, man. Enjoy your weekend. We'll talk to you Monday.
All right, thanks so much, Luther. We'll see you then.
All right, take care now.
Luther Gillikin with that report from Ellenboro. Wrapping up our call-around report for this morning. Well, folks, let me tell you about Granny B's. They're our birthday sponsor right here at WCAB. They're the headquarters for those delicious donuts, Orange Twist, Long John's Cream-Filled, or just a traditional glazed donut. You can enjoy a fresh, delicious sub-sandwich, or if you don't want the bread, you can get that on a salad instead. For birthdays, showers, or any occasion, call on Granny B's for their delicious cakes or pettifores. Open Tuesday through Friday, 9 until 7, Saturday, 9 until 6. Closed on Mondays. Call them at 828-286-9012. Granny B's, located at 322 West Main Street in Spindale. Birthdays and anniversaries. If you're celebrating a birthday or anniversary today, give me a call, 287-3356. We're going to have a birthday party in your honor coming up in just a few moments.
In many cultures of the world, honesty and integrity are uncommon virtues. They are the exception rather than the rule. Embezzlement and misappropriation of government funds is legendary. I have a friend who has held several cabinet-level posts in a major third-world government. On one occasion, he, along with his government entourage, traveled on a business expense account. Upon the completion of the trip, his subordinates suggested that he keep one half of the remaining money and they would split the other half. However, rather than keeping the money, my friend, a rare gem in such a society, reminded his subordinates that this was government money and not his or theirs. This money needed to be appropriately accounted for. The lesson on integrity and honesty could not have been clearer. It is not surprising that Jacob has been offered numerous high-level government posts in succeeding administrations. Honesty is foundational for any society. Jeremiah, known as the weeping prophet, mourned the lack of honesty in his day. The Lord declared, "Go up and down the streets, look around, search your squares. If you can find one person who deals honestly and seeks the truth, I will forgive this city." God expects and demands honesty from everyone. We may not influence our entire society, but we can all be like Jacob and influence those around us. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Happy birthday today. Well, we didn't have any birthdays called in today, so no cupcake winner for today. We'll pick that up again on Tuesday, but we would like to say happy birthday to these folks throughout history. Events, birthdays happening on today, 1907. Everybody knows who this is. John Wayne. Oh, he was the king of tough. Born Marion Michael Morrison, adopted the name John Wayne and starred in many, many westerns and movies. I love John Wayne. 1912, Jay Silverheels. You know who that was? Tonto from The Lone Ranger. 1920, singer Peggy Lee was born. 1948, Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. That's right. 1949, Hank Williams Jr. was born. And comedian Bobcat Goldthwait was born 1962. He's got that real funny voice. 1805, Lewis and Clark first sighted the Rocky Mountains. 1896, the Dow Jones Index begins. 1897, the book Dracula is published by Bram Stoker. 1927, Henry Ford produces the last and 15 millionth Model T Ford. 1940, the first successful helicopter flight happens in the United States. In 1967, the Beatles released the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. I love that album and love that movie. 1975, Glenn Campbell released Rhinestone Cowboy. Great song. Today is National Airplane Day, National Blueberry Cheesecake Day, National Cooler Day, and National Road Trip Day. Here's Paper Airplane Day. Oh, it didn't work. 7:58, we got some great music coming up for you right here. A little tribute to our veterans this weekend. Ray Charles doing America the Beautiful.
landing in Daegu. 194 people were on board. 12 passengers were hospitalized after suffering breathing problems. The plane landed safely. The long holiday weekend could be a bargain hunter's dream.
If you have a little time between the beach, the cookouts, and the parades, you may want to pencil in some shopping over the Memorial Day weekend. You could find some serious savings, especially if you're looking for big-ticket items like cars, mattresses, or major appliances, online or in brick-and-mortar stores. A few things you'll want to wait on, unless you need them right now. Grills. They'll go on sale after July 4th. And tech, especially laptops and tablets, hold off on them until back-to-school sales.
ABC's Daria Albinger. This is ABC News.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. Every branch working together. And with the new Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through June, purchase online with Beacon Pro Plus, web or app, and earn up to $1,500. Beacon, always building.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
For furnishings for every room in your home, see Eddie Holland at Holland Furniture. You'll find comfy recliners, sofas, bedroom suites, dining room tables, and they also offer top-of-the-line bedding, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Sealy with adjustable bases. Holland Furniture's been in business since 1920, and they offer setup and delivery. Holland Furniture would like to take this time to salute our military on this Memorial Day and say thank you for your service. This has been brought to you from your friends at Holland Furniture, 2822 U.S. Highway 221A in Mooresboro.
Hey, this is Cameron coming to you from the Blue Room with a check-in on your weather. Today's partly cloudy with highs near 75, mostly cloudy overnight with lows around 55. Saturday, mostly cloudy with showers likely with highs near 60, mostly cloudy overnight with showers with lows around 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy with light showers likely with highs near 65, mostly cloudy overnight with light showers and isolated storms with lows around 60. And that was a check-in on your weather here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB. Rutherford 10.
And currently 56 degrees right now under mostly sunny skies. Going to be a beautiful day, but chance of showers and thunderstorms for tomorrow. Well, usually this time of morning, Friday mornings, we have Beth Helton with her real estate insights. And this morning we got a different person in the Blue Room this morning. Good morning, mystery guest. Come in and sign in, please.
Okay, my name is Crystal Searcy, and I am with Homestar Financial. And I appreciate the fact that Miss Beth gave me the opportunity to come in and fill in for her this morning.
Oh, I'm glad she did. I'm glad she didn't just say, well, I can't be there. We're not going to have the report today. But I really enjoy her stuff, what she's talking about.
Yeah, Beth knows her stuff.
She does.
Yeah. I've come in here with her before, and yeah, she's very, and I've worked with her before on transactions. She's very knowledgeable. Beth is the person you would call if you were looking to purchase a home. She's a real estate agent. And I'm the person you could call to help you finance the home because I do loans.
Now, if you've been at Railroad Avenue, you've seen her picture. And if you want to put is your billboard still up?
The billboard's up, and actually our office is right there. I'm located on Railroad Avenue where Food Line is, and then there's that little strip of stores. And let's see, I could get my nails done, or I could eat at Subway or Chinese, or my taxes on the other side of the wall. So I'm right over there. Yeah.
Okay, you're going to talk about today?
Okay, so this morning, what I thought I would chat about is a lot of times folks think that they need to save up a lot of money before they can purchase a home. But there are opportunities out there for you to purchase a home without having to have a 20% down payment. Some of those options are, we have a loan program called USDA, which is 100% financing. So there's no down payment at all. Now, I would highly suggest that you have some money because you're going to need some money to pay for things like an appraisal or the down payment or the earnest money that you put down with a contract, which a real estate agent could assist you with, discussing that part of it. But basically, as long as you've got the earnest money and enough money to pay for the appraisal, there's no down payment, and you could roll all of the closing costs into the loan as long as the seller's agreeable and the contract's written up that way. So that's one option, is no down payment USDA loan. Another option would be if you were to do another type of loan product, you could get gift money from a family member. Some folks, you cannot borrow money for your down payment, but you can have it gifted to you, which would be, let's say you had a grandparent or a mom or dad or even a cousin. It doesn't matter how far out the family member is, but if a family member is willing to gift you some money to assist you in purchasing your home, we can do that as well. And that way you're not having to take money out of your bank account to do it. They're giving you the money as a gift to purchase a home. So those are two of the options that we use most of the time. A couple of other options are provided through the North Carolina Home Finance Administration. So that's the state. They have a program that two of the programs that I've worked with, one allows a 3% down payment assistance, and the other one allows, get this, $15,000 in down payment assistance. Now, each of these programs are slightly different, and each one has certain restrictions on it. The thing that people need to understand with these two programs is it's not a gift, it's not a grant. It's actually a second mortgage against your home. However, it's a 0% interest loan, and you don't make any payments on it. And then it's forgiven 100% and just disappears after you've lived in the house as your primary residence for 15 years. It just goes away. So it just sits over here and does nothing. This loan, this $15,000 that the state is giving you, but again, it is a second mortgage on your house. So whenever you go to closing, you will sign all the papers for your mortgage, your loan that you're going to be paying back every month, and you'll also sign papers on this down payment assistance of $15,000. And it won't ever come into play. You won't ever even think about it unless you decide in the first, I want to make sure I get my numbers right here, first 15 years, well, the first 10 years, you would have to pay it back if you were to sell the home, or even if you refinance the home, you have to pay it back. Years 11 through 15, they will deduct 20% of it, 20% the first year, 40 the next, 60 the next, 80, and then 100. So you've got your 5 years there, 20 each time. And they'll deduct that away from what you will owe on it if you were to sell or refinance the home. So that's one thing to keep in mind with this program. But yeah, it's kind of like free money, but
it's not really free.
Well,
in a sense.
It's not a gift. It's coming from the government. It's not a gift. It's on record that you owe it. But remember, 0 interest and 0 payments on it unless you sell or refinance in the first 10 years. So that's still pretty good. It's a good thing to think about. So it's got some restrictions on it. Not everyone applies. Not everyone qualifies, but it is something to think about. So if you're a first-time home buyer or a military vet and you are looking to purchase a home, we've got this, it's called down payment assistance. It's not called a grant, but the money is sitting there, and you could possibly qualify to get $15,000 in assistance to help you purchase a home. That money could be used for down payment. It could be used for closing costs. So there's a lot that you could do with that money and help you buy your first home.
Someone comes to you and they don't have the greatest credit in the world. It's just, they've got good credit, but maybe they fell on a hard time at one point. How difficult now is it to get a loan if your credit is just not perfect?
Okay, so again, my office is right up the road here, and I do primarily most of my work here in Rutherford County, Cleveland County, McDowell County, and a lot of the people that I work with have credit issues. They just do. for various reasons. Some people, like you said, they just fell on hard times. Maybe they were between jobs and they let a couple of payments get missed, and that really will drop your credit score. A late payment on a credit card will tank your score so fast. I was working with a young lady one time, and right before closing, the folks at home office did a check on her credit to make sure that everything was the same as it was when we started her loan. She had missed a credit card payment like the week before closing. Her credit score dropped 100 points. Whoa, yes. So pay your bills on time, especially those credit cards, because it can be painful. But back to your question, I can work with people who have not so perfect credit. Your loan will be easier if your credit score is higher. It's less difficult to get a mortgage if your credit score is better, and it's less expensive to get a mortgage if your credit score is higher. However, that being said, I can do a loan with a credit score as low as a 580. Now, that's pretty low. Now, it's much easier. 620 or higher is so much better to work with and easier on the buyer and the lender as well. But a lot of times I will pull someone's credit and see that it's rather low, and I work with folks like that. I will go through and see why their score is so low, because what might make one person's score low, someone else could have a totally different reason why their score is low. And I will give them a game plan on how to work on trying to build that score up. Sometimes it's kind of quirky, because we pull credit from all three credit bureaus. We don't use what you see on Credit Karma. We pull from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, the big three. And we use what's called a mid-score. So we take all three credit scores, we line them up, lowest to highest, and we drop the low score and the high score, and we use whatever numbers in the middle. So it doesn't matter which of the credit bureaus it came from. We go by those numbers. We don't average them together. We use the score that's in the middle, and that's what most mortgage lenders will do. Ways to get your credit score up, let's see, some of them, you can hire a credit company to help you work on getting your score built up. But there are a lot of simple things you can do on your own without paying that credit company money, or the credit repair service, I should say, paying them money every month. If you were to come speak with me, I can go through and give you some tips on certain things you could do to go ahead and build your score up without having to pay someone to do that on your behalf. And those companies can be rather expensive, so it's a good thing just to, again, disclaimer, I am not a credit counselor. But I have worked with a lot of folks and given them tips on ways to get their credit score up so that they could purchase a home. And for some people, it only takes a couple of months. And for others, it might take them a year. But it's kind of like losing weight. Okay, so you didn't gain the 30 pounds in 30 days, so it's going to take you more than 30 days to lose 30 pounds, correct? It's kind of that way with credit. It didn't take you 30 days for your credit score to tank, so it's going to take you more than 30 days to build it back up. But again, you'd be surprised at some things that will impact your credit score quicker than others. And you can't just jump on there and start paying everything off, because some of these credit bureaus, if you have a zero balance on your credit on the credit card, it might make that bureau's score drop, and the other two might go up. So before you start attacking all of these things and paying them off and closing out credit cards and things that you think will fix your credit score, it might be good to speak with someone who's kind of seen it before and let them give you some suggestions And I'm happy to do that for folks. Again, it may take a little while to get your score back up, but it's so worth it, because when you have a mortgage and your credit score is low, you might end up having to pay, well, I shouldn't say might end up, 99.9% of the time, if your credit score is very low, your interest rate on your loan will typically be higher than someone who has a higher credit score. And then the other thing is the cost of getting your loan. If your credit score is lower, then the lender will typically charge what's called points to lock in that interest rate. And you would want a higher credit score so that you don't have to pay those points, those extra fees. So it's just so much better if your score can be up a little higher. So it's a good thing to work on your credit when trying to purchase a house.
You know, when we were using our checkbooks,
pardon me,
I'm getting choked up myself. When we wrote checks,
yes,
you had your register right in front of you.
Back in the old days.
Back in the good old days.
Old days, yeah.
Now people are using the debit cards, and it's so easy to overdo your account. Why is that necessary? Make sure that you don't overwrite your account when it comes to wanting to buy a house. Now Beth has mentioned that quite a few times.
Well, let's see. If you were to, it's like a domino effect. If you overdraw your bank account, let's say you think you have $100 in there and you're out with your debit card, but there's some charges that have not gone through yet. So you've got your phone app out and you look and you go, oh, got $100. So you go out with your debit card and you spend $150. But what you don't know is that there's something that hasn't shown up on your app yet. A charge perhaps you have done, or one of these items that you've got set up on auto draft. It just hasn't hit yet. So if your account goes in the negative and you spend the money, then not only is your bank going to charge you a fee for being overdrawn, but the company that you charged it to is probably going to charge you a fee for rerunning the kind of, used to back in the day when people wrote checks. You remember you'd go into a convenience store and you'd see these checks taped to the side of the wall where people's checks had not cleared. But it's because they are charged a fee. They're when a charge does not go through, they're charged a fee by their bank. Your bank is charging you a fee for an overdraft fee. So there's and everything that you've charged that day is going to go through. And if, let's say, one of them was a credit card payment, then you've got you a 30-day late, just like that. Credit card companies don't typically have a grace period. If they say it's due on the 10th, and I mean some of them even have a time on that day. If it's not paid by 6 p.m. Pacific time on the 10th, then it's considered a late payment, and then they're going to charge you a fee of $35. But most of the time, if you have that where you've overdrawn your account, it's not going to be just a one charge that you're going to be hit with. Think about it. If you've gone out and bought a few things, even if it was a $15 purchase at Dollar General, you could have $60 or $70 worth of extra fees on that one $15 charge. Because you have your fee from your bank, you'll have your fee from Dollar General, or Dollar General's going to hit you somehow in there, and it's painful. It can be financially painful on your bank account. I've looked at bank statements before when people bring them to me, and I just look at this one guy in particular. I looked at him and I said, "Do you realize that this year you've paid over $500 in late fees or overdraft fees on your bank statement? $500. That's a lot of money." And they had not even realized that it had stacked up that high. But at $35 a pop, got to manage your money. And if we see that you can't manage your money and you don't have a house payment yet, then it could keep you from buying a home when we see all those overdraft fees, because is an indication that you're not being financially responsible and you're not keeping up with when your bills are due and paying them on time. So it could keep you from purchasing a home to have those type of fees on your checking account statement, because we look at your statement. And the thing is, your bank statement doesn't just show, oh, this month you have 0 fees. It also has under it a line that says year-to-date overdraft fees. So it'll have the cumulative amount on there. So this is May. Let's say you decided you wanted to buy a house and you don't have any overdraft fees in May or April. That's great. But January, February, and March, it's still going to show up on June's bank statement. The cumulative balance will be on there of overdraft fees.
So, folks, there you have it. It's the cold, hard facts on buying a home. And the lady you need to talk to is Crystal Searcy.
Thank
you. And you are in the Food Line Plaza.
I'm up here at Food Line Plaza, and if you've got any questions, you can call or text 828-332-3009. And also, I have videos on YouTube that have a lot of great advice on purchasing a home. And you could look me up on YouTube. I guess you could type in Crystal Searcy MLO, which stands for Mortgage Loan Originator. And my name is spelled with an H, so it's CHRYSTAL. And there's all kind of videos on there. And then also I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and that's Crystal Searcy with an H, MLO, or you could do hashtag Crystal Clear Mortgages.
Thank you, Crystal. Come back again.
Great. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You call the shots. Get savings on your new device at Park Mobile. You make the call to get a new free Samsung Galaxy 5G smartphone when you switch. Then call the shots with an unlimited data plan. A single line is just $40 per month of autopay. Get the device you want plus unlimited data to stream, surf, download, message, and be ready for anything. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybillmobile.com/terms and conditions. Offer expires June 30, 2023.
For dependable and complete auto service, see Tri-City Tire Service. They care about their customers, and it shows. Offering complete services in brakes, alignments, tune-ups, oil changes, and of course, tire service. Tri-City Tire would like to take this time to thank all our military men and women for your service and dedication for keeping us safe and free in this great country. This military salute has been brought to you from Tri-City Tire Service, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City.
Are you turning 65, or are you losing group health insurance? Give us a call at Insurance Service Associates. My name is Dwayne Hunt, and I represent all the coverages for Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements, prescription drug plans, and major medical. Give us a call at 245-5301 and let us see what we can do for you. Or drop by the office at 245 East Main Street in Forest City. That's Insurance Service Associates.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Office or the Detention Center has processed 16 arrests. We're holding 189 in the jail. We've responded to 213 calls for service. For incident reports, we've got James Wisnett, who reported damage to property. And Cliffside Fire Department reported felony conversion. For arrest reports, we've got Judice Quarles, arrested on assault on a female. Amber Boyce was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Sherry Allen was arrested for second-degree trespass and littering. We got Pamela Thompson was arrested on failing to appear on child support. Julianne Cato was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Mona Lisa Airwood was arrested for failing to appear on a misdemeanor. Randall Malloy was arrested for obtaining property by false pretense. Talina Taylor was served for a true bill of indictment. Purcell Ledbetter was arrested for failing to appear on child support. Floyd Ray Oliver was arrested for failing to appear on child support. Morgan Bennett was arrested for failing to appear on misdemeanor. Julie Cato was arrested for felony probation violation. Katie Jones was arrested for misdemeanor probation violation. And Regina Randall was arrested for second-degree trespass. And that's all I've got for you.
The month of May is Military Appreciation Month, and the folks at the Arledge Law Firm would like to say a special thank you to our men and women who serve and are serving in the military. Attorneys Gerald Willis and Kent Baldwin and all the staff at Arledge Law invite everyone to say thank you to our military men and women for serving our country, fighting to keep us free. Gerald would like to personally honor his dad, Nicholas Willis, for serving in the U.S. Army, and his mother, Jane Willis, for serving in the Women's Naval Reserves. Thank you for all the years of service to our great country. And remember to turn to Arledge Law for all your legal needs, 120 East Court in Rutherford. Call them at 828-287-3338.
Compassion, professionalism, and commitment are qualities family members need at a time of sorrow. That's why families in Rutherford County turn to Harrelson Funeral Home. The professional staff at Harrelson Funeral Home in Forest City understands your sadness, your loneliness, and your need for guidance. You will know when you turn to Harrelson Funeral Home that your needs have been met. Harrelson Funeral Home would like to take this time to salute all the men and women who have served this great country in the military. Thank you so much for your service and for your sacrifice. This message brought to you by Harrelson Funeral Home, Highway 221A in Forest City.
Hey, this is Cameron coming to you from the Blue Room with a check-in on your weather. Today's partly cloudy with highs near 75, mostly cloudy overnight with lows around 55. Saturday, mostly cloudy with showers likely with highs near 60, mostly cloudy overnight with showers with lows around 50. Sunday, mostly cloudy with light showers likely with highs near 65. Mostly cloudy overnight with light showers and isolated storms with lows around 60. And that was a check-in on your weather here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford 10.
Holding hands, sipping cherry cokes, and enjoying the music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. 100.9 FM, 590 AM. This is WCAB.
It's time now for the Word of Faith program. With the program this morning is Gilbert and Christy Carmona.
I'm Gilbert, and this is Christy, and we're back with you today. We wanted to come and encourage you to choose Jesus. We want to speak about choices, and the choices that we make every day, the choices that we're confronted with. Life is full of choices, but in all of those choices, you can choose Jesus. You can choose God and God's plan for your life. And we want to encourage you to ask God, what is your plan? What is the answer? What is the right choice? We've been really struggling with this. This is our 5th time here on the program that we've shared with you. And every time that we come, we just want to share with you our life and what we do and what God has shown us, different struggles that we've had, the decisions we've had. We're both self-employed. We have our own business. We've shared with you things that have happened in our business. But we want to share with you Jesus and what Jesus speaks to us. We believe that Jesus speaks to every person. And that's really all we have to give, is what Jesus speaks to us. Anything else is just religion. But there is a true living God that cares about you. And he wants you to make the right decisions. When you read in the Bible is a book of people making choices. From the very beginning to the very end, it's people making choices. You'll read that some people made the right choice, some people made wrong choices, and those choices have some consequences. But we want you to choose Jesus in every matter, because everything matters to God. Nothing is trivial. And you matter very much to God. The entire Bible is a book of people. When confronted, you see what they did, the decision they made. And there are so many. And the more we talked about this all week, it's like it just grew and grew. And we just kept saying, do we really want to go there? Do we want to talk about that? Do we want to talk about this? Do we want to talk about that? And I said, the program's only 30 minutes long. We only have 30 minutes. But literally, in every story that you read, you see people confronted with choices, and you see people living the consequences of those choices. You know, God wanted a people to choose him freely of their own will. That God gave us volition. Volition is the power to do it, a power of our will to choose. He wanted us to choose him freely of our volition, and he made it clear to us. Choose this or choose this. There's no victims. We are the consequences of our choices. You know, the world today presents choices, and it's growing more. And you see people talking about choices in everything. It's in advertising. It's in education. It's in we can just go on. It's in technology, and we even have technology now to help us make these choices and make some choices. And we've actually kind of given our will to that and let the technology make these choices for us. But what have we found out? The technology's not making better choices than we would of ourselves. But even in the very beginning, it starts in Genesis. Let me go in Genesis 2:15 with Adam. And the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend, to guard, and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, You may eat freely of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and blessing and calamity, you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Now the Lord God said, It's not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper, met, suitable, adapted, and complementary for him. So we see God tells Adam, this is what I want you to do, but you're not going to eat of that tree, or you will die. And then we read a little further, and Eve, in 3:4, Eve, who made the wrong choice, by the way, Eve, I learned it started 4, but the serpent said to the woman, You shall not surely die. Now, God had already told Adam, if you do this, you're going to die. But the serpent came to Eve and said, You shall not surely die, for God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing the difference between good and evil, and blessing and calamity. And the woman saw that the tree was good, suitable, pleasant for food, and that it was delightful to look at, a tree to be desired in order to make one wise. And she took of its fruit, and she ate. And she gave some also to her husband, and he ate. Both of them made the wrong choice. And those choices have consequences. In 12, and the man said to the woman, and God, let me go back to 11, and God came looking for Adam, and Adam said, We hid ourselves because we knew that we were naked. And God said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree that I commanded you that you should not eat? And in 12, the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit of the tree, and I ate. And the Lord said to the woman, What is this that you have done? And the woman said, The serpent cheated me. He deceived me, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the serpent, You shall be cursed. But more importantly, in 16, he said to the woman, I will greatly multiply your grief and your suffering. And he said to the man, Because you have listened and given heed to the voice of your wife and have eaten of the tree that I have commanded you, you shall not eat of it. The ground is under a curse because of you, and in sorrow and toil you shall eat of the fruits all the days of your life. So there's no victim. Adam tried to blame somebody else, but there's consequences, and he made the wrong choice. Another example of a choice is Cain and Abel. In Genesis 4:4, and Abel brought of the first fruits of his flock and of the fat portions, and the Lord had respect and regard for Abel and his offering. But for Cain and his offering, he had no respect or regard. So Cain was angry and indignant, and he looked sad and depressed. And the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? And why do you look sad and depressed and dejected? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin crouches at your door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it. And then we know the rest of that story. Cain said to his brother, let's go out in the field, and he killed him. Now, those were some examples of some bad decisions that people made. But we're here to encourage you to choose Jesus and encourage you to make the right decision. And I want to read a little bit further. We learn of a man named Abram, whose name God changed to Abraham. And God presented him with the choice. Because we think that these people just did this, but they were presented with this choice. They had a decision to make. Abraham in 11:1, now in Haran, the Lord said to Abram, go for yourself, for your own advantage, away from your country, from your relatives, and your father's house, to a land that I will show you. And I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you, and make you famous and distinguished, and will be a blessing to others. And I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. And Abram departed as the Lord had directed him. And we know the rest of that story. He went on to be the father of many nations. He obeyed. He chose and he obeyed. When we read this, we just assumed, yeah, that's what he did. But think about what he was presented with. He was told to go to a place that he didn't even know, to leave everything he knew behind, and to just obey God. And he did that. And the blessings that followed him, because the one thing, if you choose Jesus, there will be blessings and there will be safety for you.
A very familiar verse is in Deuteronomy that a lot of us have heard, that it's God sets before us life and death. But let's go to that in Deuteronomy 30:19, because I saw this differently when we were studying in a deeper way. Chapter 30, verse 19. Okay, and it says, I call heaven and earth to witness this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, the blessings and the curses. Therefore choose life, that you and your descendants may live. And that stood out to me about I called heaven and earth to witness. There's an accountability with that. God called heaven and earth to witness what we're choosing. Heaven sees what we're choosing. The earth sees what we're choosing. Our choices affect not only us, but the people we're around. And there's accountability. That's a strong accountability. And God, He gives us He gives us our free will to choose, but He also makes us accountable. And the other verse that came to me strongly about the accountability was in Joshua 24. Starting in verse 15. And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered, Far be it from us to forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For it is the Lord our God who brought us and our fathers up out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage, who did those great signs in our sight and preserved us in all the way that we went and among all the peoples through whom we passed. And the Lord drove out before us all the people, the Amorites who dwelt in the land. Therefore we also will serve the Lord, for He is our God. And Joshua said to the people, You cannot serve the Lord, for He is a holy God. He is a jealous God. He will not forgive your transgressions or your sins. If you forsake the Lord and serve strange gods, then He will turn and do you harm and consume you after having done you good. And the people said to Joshua, No, but we will serve the Lord. Then Joshua said to the people, "You are witnesses against yourself that you have chosen the Lord to serve him." And they said, "We are witnesses." And again, the witnesses, the accountability. You say you're going to serve God. You say you're going to do this. God takes it seriously. He expects us to fulfill our promises. He has never lied. He fulfills every promise he's said, and he expects us to do what we say we're going to do. And to make the right choice, he expects us to make the right choice, to the point where Joshua, he made a covenant with the people in verse 25 that day, and he made statutes and ordinances for them at Shechem. And Joshua wrote these words in the book of the law of God, and he took a great stone and set it up there under an oak that was in the court of the sanctuary of the Lord. I mean, again, how serious that was. It was written down. There was a stone in the church. It was a covenant. And Joshua said to the people, "See, the stone shall be a witness against us, for it has heard all the words the Lord spoke to us. So it shall be a witness against you, lest afterwards you lie or you pretend and deny your God." So let's talk about another example of a choice. And a strong example in the Bible is about Esau. So Esau is in Genesis 25.
While you're going there, the important thing back with Joshua is that the people said, "Our God we will serve." So that stone was a monument to, they said, this is the choice we're going to make.
That's right. Okay, so Genesis 25:29. Jacob was boiling pottage one day when Esau came from the field and was faint with hunger. And Esau said to Jacob, "I beg of you, let me have some of the red lentil stew to eat, for I am faint and famished." And see, when we're in a weak point, we can make decisions. And we do not need to make a decision because of our weakness. More than ever, we would need to turn to God for God to help us. And it says in verse 31, Jacob answered, "Then sell me today your birthright, the rights of a firstborn." And Esau said, "See here, I am at the point of death. What good can this birthright do to me?" I mean, was he really at the point of death? Was it really that bowl of stew more important than the call of God and the blessings of God and the will of God for his life? That bowl of stew? I mean, when you are weak, it's like the devil tries to make you think something is way worse or way greater than what you have to consider, to carefully consider the decision you're about to make. And Jacob said, "Swear to me today that you are selling it to me." And he swore to Jacob and sold him his birthright. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and stew of lentils, and he ate and drank and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau scorned his birthright as beneath his notice. It had no value. His birthright had no value. The stew was of more value. What is of more value in our lives? What is the most important thing? And sometimes I say, I love this, or I really love that, or I love this person, I really love this, but I always say, Jesus, I want to love you more. What's the most important thing? I mean, are we going to sell our birthright? Sell the call of God, sell the security of God, sell the blessings of God over one really insignificant thing? And whatever that thing may be, whatever you really want. I mean, Esau, even in his weakness, but consider what that decision made for him. I mean, it set on course the rest of his life. And that's one thing we really wanted to stress today, is how one decision can set your life on course for hell, or it can set your life on course for heaven.
Well, we've all experienced that. We've all been in a position where there's pressure.
Yes.
And you feel that pressure. Because that's what was going on in Esau's right then. I mean, whether he was really dying or not, he thought he was.
Right.
And there was a pressure to make a decision. And one thing that I've seen in Christy is she doesn't bow to that pressure. She will stop and she will say, Jesus, what do you have to say? And she's taught me that, because believe me, I was always a business person that we're going to make a decision, and we're going to do this right now. Let's have a meeting, and we're going to do it. And we never considered Jesus worth the knowing. But she's taught me, you stop and you say, Jesus, what do you have to say about this? Because like I said earlier, everything matters to God, because everything matters.
We actually have a lot of pressure in our job and a lot of deadlines, and I tell Gilbert, we're not making any decisions out of pressure. I'll back up, and I said, we're going to wait.
And we won't make a decision. Oh, but if you don't do this,
right,
this is going to happen. Let it happen. And believe me, this isn't something that I haven't been like this my whole life, as I just said. I was the opposite of that. And there's a peace. I can't explain it. There's a peace when you choose Jesus.
That's right.
There's a safety. There's a comfort. In Joshua, the scripture you read earlier, the people said, as for me and my household. So these decisions are just not about you. You know, we live in a society, I said earlier, about the culture that we're in right now, and the popular culture and all the choices, but it's all about you. You know, you're going to do this. There is no you. We're not an island by ourselves. Whatever we do will affect other people. In the case of Esau, those decisions are still there today. It's called the nation of Israel.
Right.
So talk about consequences. Thousands of years. And you think, oh, well, this is trivial. No, it's serious. I said several shows ago, we were decorating our office, and I said, does God really care about the color of the paint on your wall? Yes, he does. God's got a lot to say about the color of paint on my wall. God's got a lot to say about everything. And I said, look at a lily. You know, it's springtime here now, and you see all the flowers. And today we were at our office, and I saw these white flowers. And you think, how insignificant. But the detail in every one of those petals, it's amazing. So how much more important? Your choices.
Yes. Let's turn to Psalm 16. This is very powerful about choosing God. Choosing Jesus. Okay, let's start in verse 4. Their sorrows shall be multiplied who choose another God. And is this not so true? When you choose to serve another God, you have trouble after misery. It's multiplied. Their drink offerings of blood will I not offer, or take their names upon my lips. But the Lord is my chosen and assigned portion, my cup. And that's what we choose. The Lord is our chosen. We choose the Lord. He is our portion. He is our cup. You hold and maintain my lot. The lines have fallen for me in pleasant places. Yes, I have a good heritage. When you choose God, when you choose Jesus, there's only good. It's a good heritage. Verse 7, I will bless the Lord who has given me counsel. Yes, my heart instructs me in the night seasons. I have set the Lord continually before me, because he is at my right hand. I shall not be moved. When you choose Jesus, you're stable. You're not moved by the pressure. You're not moved by the circumstances. You're stable. Your heart is glad, and your inner self rejoices. My body too shall rest and confidently dwell in safety. When you choose Jesus, you feel peace. You can sleep. You don't have that torment at night. You can lay your head on the pillow in peace, and you feel safe. You don't feel threatened. You don't feel like something's going to happen to you. You dwell in safety. And in verse 10, for you will not abandon me to the place of the dead, neither will you suffer your Holy One to see corruption. You will show me the path of life, and in your presence is fullness of joy. At your right hand there are pleasures forevermore. And you know, you think about a sinful life, it's a fleeting enjoyment. it is just for a moment, whereas when you choose Jesus, you have pleasures forevermore. It's continually a feast. It's always good, always happy. And we're choosing Jesus. He is our cup. He is our portion.
There's so much in Romans.
Yes. And well, we'll just touch on it because
there's so much in Romans. I really want to encourage you to go back and read Romans, especially Romans 1. Actually, read all of Romans, but in Romans 1, it's wonderful.
A lot of times choices are, well, most of the time the choices are choosing the truth or a lie. And verse 18 says, "For God's holy wrath and indignation are revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who in their wickedness repress and hinder the truth and make it inoperative. For that which is known about God is evident to them and made plain in their inner consciousness, because God himself has shown it to them." And a lot of times when you are faced with decisions, even how small it may be or how large it may be, a decision for a career or your life or who you're going to marry, it says God shows us our inner consciences, and we know. And you can choose that. You can choose that voice that God speaks to you. For verse 20, "For ever since the creation of the world, his invisible nature and his attributes, that is, his eternal power and divinity, have been made intelligibly and clearly discernible in and through the things that we have made, his handiwork. So men are without excuse altogether, without any defense or justification." See, we can't say we're a victim of our circumstance. We are without excuse. We choose what is going to define the course of our life. We choose every day what we're going to do. Because when they knew and recognized him as God, they did not honor and glorify him as God or give him thanks, but instead they became futile and godless in their thinking. Their senseless minds were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools. Professing to be smart, they made simpletons of themselves. And by them the glory and majesty and excellence of the immortal God were exchanged for and represented by images resembling mortal man and birds and beasts and reptiles. Therefore God gave them up in the lust of their own hearts to sexual impurity, to the dishonoring of their bodies among themselves, abandoning them to the degrading power of sin, because they exchanged the truth of God for a lie and worshipped and served the creature rather than the Creator, who is blessed forever.
Amen.
And so let's go to verse 28, because this is really something that I stand on a lot, and I want to share with you a situation that happened in my life. And this is one of the main verses that really I've stood on. Verse 28, "And so since they did not see fit to acknowledge God or approve of him or consider him worth the knowing, God gave them over to a base and condemned mind to do things not proper or decent, but loathsome." And the whole thing is acknowledging God, considering him, considering Jesus. Because there was something that happened to me many years ago when I was in college, and it was a devastating situation. I was in my last year of school, and something happened with some friends of mine and with me, and it was so devastating. I was so distraught that I just knew I needed to leave the school. I was so undone, I couldn't even drive my car. I couldn't even think straight. I just asked my two girlfriends, "Can you please drive me home? I've got to leave." I don't even know if I was ever coming back to the college. I didn't know what was going to happen with my life. And on the way home, I mean, I wasn't serving God then. I really didn't know much about God, but God came on me in that car, and it was a 2.5-hour ride home. And it felt like I said this the entire 2.5 hours, whether I did or not, I don't remember, but it felt like it. And I said, "I choose to forgive." It just kept coming out of me. I choose to forgive. I choose to forgive. This will not define me. This is not going to ruin my life. And it was like the power of God, of that choice. I choose to forgive. And over a matter of a few days, God granted me the ability to go back to school, finish college, and it didn't define my life. It didn't ruin my life. In fact, it made me a stronger person to turn to God. And then it was like a year later, I heard something else about these people and about the situation that had happened. And at that point, I was going to Bible school, and I was really seeking God, and God was drawing me stronger. And I remember saying, God, I can't deny that this hurts. This is painful. Even though I know you delivered me, it hurts. But I acknowledge you. I turn to you. I consider you. I consider you worth the knowing. What do you say about this? And God spoke some things to me that set me free. His truth set me free. And I never looked back. It didn't ruin my life. I'm serving God stronger today. And it was that choice of considering Jesus worth the knowing.
Amen. Amen. And it made you a stronger person.
Yes.
For choosing Jesus. Now, it seems like we're just getting started. We have so much more that we want to share. We're just going to have to come back. Let me end with this. If you've got a choice today and you're having struggles, you don't know that you can. God is telling you to do something, and you don't know if you can do it. Let me leave you with this. Matthew 22:29. A group of people came up to Jesus, and they asked him some questions. And Jesus had the simplest response for them. Actually, Matthew 22 is a very, very good book. So many people, or a very good chapter, so many people live there in all this thinking. But Jesus said very simple to them, you're wrong because you know neither the scriptures nor God's power. That power is there for you today to choose Jesus. Well, we are out of time. Thank you for listening. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 to 9 a.m. You can also visit us at wordoffaithfellowship.org. All the videos are there for all of the shows we've done. Thank you so much.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356. AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
Including 2 police officers after the gun and knife attack. Violent attacks are rare in Japan. A new report shedding a harsh spotlight on the Navy SEAL selection program.